Hello everyone, quick update for those of you who've been following along. As you can see, we've been inactive for the last week, and I want to apologize for that, but just to let you know, the ministry is not going to be forestalled, concluded, or moved to another channel as far as things are currently going. There, of course, is some news that I want to clarify with all of you, so in the spirit of full disclosure, let's make sure that that's all clarified. As you all may be familiar with, My Little Pony Season 9 is going to be released soon, and it was announced to be the final season. This, of course, means that the initiation of this channel is, of course, also going to reach its conclusion. But, of course, our goal in this ministry is to meet people with the gospel in any form of popular culture and social media. So, of course, it's not going to end with My Little Pony. It's going to end with the gospel. And, of course, since that hasn't concluded in its application, we of course aren't going to conclude either. But I want to make sure that you're all aware, unless My Little Pony takes a very, very poor choice in its direction and goes the way of other series that we've had to leave behind, we're going to continue to do episode by episode studies of My Little Pony until the very end. And you can continue to pray that God not only continues to use the writers, but blesses all those who are still fans of the show. I also want to make an announcement for some of the future projects that we're going to be working on so that you guys know what's ahead, and to make sure that you are also aware that I am staying busy to make sure that you guys continue to be edified, exhorted, and comforted. First and foremost, we have requests noting the Sam Raimi Spiderman movies. That will be including all three of them, and as well the Amazing Spider-Man series as well, noting the biblical points being made there. But of course, we want to make sure that God's leading in this more than popular opinion. I'm waiting for God to speak on those things, but I do have notes and outlines prepared. Likewise, with the announcement of it making Game of the Year, Nier Automata is also going to have a study that will be coming up soon, but making sure that I am dotting my I's and crossing my T's, I want to make sure that I have that storyline front and center, as well as the Kingdom Hearts series before I get into studies on it, so you can look forward to those in video game departments. Also note that we're going to be making a heavy emphasis on apologetics as well into the future, not only continuing our verse-by-verse Bible studies, but also going into the top 30 objections to Christianity, of which we've put together some very brief but informed responses so that all of you in your conversations about your faith on the internet can have reasonable answers too. And also make a point and note that with the studies concluding in My Little Pony, the series, as far as the biblical relevance is concerned, will not be concluded, and I am planning on re-recording some of those messages, especially the ones that were very early on where our audio equipment and presentation was a little lackluster. And this is what brings us to the big announcement. You may have noticed that our background here has changed somewhat, and the reason for that is because of move of office. Our church has managed to invest in some office spaces, which is nice. But it's also important to note that we've also been developing another area of ministry. For those of you who don't know, I am a co-host with my father on the Bible question and answer program, A Reason for Hope, which is broadcast on the radio 5 days a week in my local area. Now, we have made great efforts to broadcast this on Facebook as well, and we are archiving it there, but we're also developing a YouTube page, which has been taking up the majority of my time. Reason for Hope is the name of the channel. You see myself next to my father with the Israeli flag behind us. Reason for Hope is the name of the series, and if you look up Bible Q&A radio program, Scott Richards, anything of the like, you will find it, and I highly recommend you subscribe, since we'll be producing more content there as of recently, and that will include not only the opportunity to discuss questions about the Bible, but I also want to encourage every single one of you who are subscribed to this channel to subscribe there as well. I will be moving to one study a week as far as expectation is concerned, unless I happen to get sick or circumstances demand otherwise, but of course also be aware that we will be live streaming on that channel 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Friday. So if you want that regular biblical content and an opportunity to get questions answered regarding the Bible, even in relevance to, say, popular TV shows or biblical characters, the kind of stuff I encourage in the comments regularly, be sure to participate there. Once again, the YouTube channel is A Reason for Hope. I'll provide a link for it in the description, and I encourage you all to subscribe there. Once we hit 100, we'll be able to live stream for more than an hour. And of course, with that regular input, hopefully this will be something that God can use for His glory. Thank you all for listening and your continued support for the ministry. We're going to continue to just be available and hopefully be used by God in the ways that He calls us. And also be aware as well that if any of you have questions in starting up your own channels in discussing biblical themes and perhaps wanting to pursue this form of ministry as well, feel free to contact me. I'm working on a discipleship series that doesn't just give you information, but the opportunity to engage personally. Thank you all for taking the time, not only in praying for this ministry, but hearing these updates. I once again want to remind you that we're going to continue to serve until God calls us home or elsewhere. And I just want to point you to where more of my activity will be involved in as time goes on. We're not moving to a new channel, but a new channel is in fact being lifted up. So we want to make sure that you guys are able to benefit from that as well. Thank you for your time. Remember that Jesus loves you. And as always, make sure that you keep this ministry in prayer, that God speaks far more than I do. God bless you guys.